Hey there, fellow dreamers. You know those wild, weird, and sometimes totally bonkers adventures we have while we're snoozing? Yeah, we're talking about dreams. Welcome to Dreamtelling, the podcast where we peel back the layers of those nocturnal journeys and unlock the secrets they hold. I'm your host, Mira, and today we're diving headfirst into the mysterious world of dream interpretation, one episode at a time. Joining me is the dream whisperer himself, Simon, a seasoned interpreter who can decipher even the most bizarre dream scenarios.
Thank you, Mira. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast, Shared with People. Dreams are a language we all speak but rarely understand, so I'm excited to share some insights today.
Simon, for our listeners who may not be familiar with your work, could you share some insights into your professional journey?
For those unfamiliar with me, I'm Simon, and my fascination with dreams began at a very young age. I've always been curious about what they mean. As a dream interpreter, I'll share key insights into the world of dreams and provide examples of some of the most common dream scenarios.
Before we dive in, let's start with your background. How did you get into dream interpretation? And why do you call yourself a ghost of the subconscious?
I've been fascinated by dreams since I was young, especially how they reveal things we often hide from ourselves. I call myself a ghost of the subconscious because dreams are like whispers from a part of ourselves we can't always see or touch. My job is to haunt those whispers and bring them to light.
I love that imagery. So let's break it down for our listeners. Why do we dream, and what purpose do dreams serve?
Dreaming is the brain's way of processing emotions, memories, and unresolved conflicts. It's like your subconscious having a late-night brainstorming session. Sometimes dreams are just random, but often they reflect deeper truths about what's going on in our waking lives.
That's fascinating. Let's talk about some common dreams people experience. Why do so many of us dream about falling, being chased, or showing up to school naked?
Those are classics. Falling usually represents feeling out of control or overwhelmed in life. Being chased often symbolizes avoiding a problem or fear you're not ready to face. And showing up naked, it's all about vulnerability and the fear of being exposed, whether emotionally or socially.
Interesting. So, if someone wakes up from a dream like that, what should they do to understand it better?
The first step is to write it down. Dreams fade fast, so jot down everything you can remember: images, emotions, colors, people. Then ask yourself, what's going on in my life that feels like this? Context is key.
Are there universal symbols, or is it all personal? For instance, does dreaming about water mean the same thing for everyone?
Some symbols are universal. For example, water often represents emotions because it's fluid and ever-changing. But the meaning also depends on the dreamer. For one person, water might feel peaceful. For another, it's terrifying.
What about recurring dreams? Why do we have the same dream over and over again?
Recurring dreams are like your subconscious saying, hey, pay attention. They often highlight unresolved issues or themes in your life. It's like a movie playing on repeat until you figure out what it's trying to tell you.
Okay, let's get personal. I actually brought a dream I had recently, and I'm hoping you can help me interpret it.
Of course, let's hear it.
So, I was walking through this endless hallway filled with mirrors. Every time I looked in a mirror, I saw a different version of myself. Sometimes younger, sometimes older, sometimes a completely different person. What do you think that means?
Wow, that's a powerful dream. Hallways often represent transitions or choices in life. Mirrors symbolize self-reflection and identity. Seeing different versions of yourself could mean you're exploring who you are or who you want to become. It might be asking, which version of myself feels most authentic?
That gives me chills. Dreams really do hold a mirror to our souls.
Absolutely. And they're always guiding us, even if the messages seem cryptic at first.
Before we wrap up, what's one piece of advice you'd give to our listeners who want to start exploring their dreams more deeply?
Be curious. Treat your dreams like a conversation with yourself. Keep a dream journal. Look for patterns and don't be afraid to explore what feels uncomfortable. That's often where the biggest breakthroughs happen.
Simon, tell me please a few dream interpretation examples.
Example 1. Dreaming of a snake. Interpretation. A snake often symbolizes transformation, healing, or renewal as snakes shed their skin. Alternatively, it can represent hidden fears or dangers, especially if the snake is threatening or venomous. Context matters. If the snake feels peaceful, it could symbolize wisdom or rebirth. If it's aggressive, it might signify a toxic relationship or a personal fear. My tip for listeners: ask yourself, what's changing in my life right now? Or is there something I fear but haven't confronted yet? Example 2. Dreaming of flying as a bird. Interpretation. Flying dreams often symbolize freedom, a desire to escape, or rising above challenges. Being a bird adds another layer. Birds are often seen as messengers or connected to spiritual growth. If the flight feels joyful, it may indicate personal empowerment or success. If it's frightening, it could suggest fear of losing control or taking risks. My tip for listeners: reflect on whether you feel stuck in life or are finally breaking free from limitations. Example 3. Dreaming of water. Interpretation. Calm, clear water can symbolize emotional peace and clarity, while turbulent water often reflects emotional turmoil. Being submerged might indicate feeling overwhelmed, while walking on water could symbolize confidence and mastery over emotions. My tip for listeners: think about how the water felt in your dream. Your emotions during the dream often hold the key.
What does it mean to dream about being chased?
This dream usually reflects avoidance in waking life. The thing chasing you might symbolize a fear, responsibility, or unresolved issue you're running from. Pay attention to who or what is chasing you. It might reveal what you're avoiding. My recommendation for your subscribers: instead of focusing on the fear, ask, what am I avoiding and why?
Tell me more about that.
A more interesting take on it: dreaming of discovering a gold ring can symbolize a variety of things depending on the specific details of the dream. Commitment and love, wealth and prosperity, hidden potential. To get a more personalized interpretation, consider these questions. How did you feel when you discovered the ring? Were you excited, surprised, or apprehensive? Your emotions in the dream can offer valuable clues. Where did you find the ring? Was it in a familiar place or somewhere unexpected? What did you do with the ring after finding it? Did you keep it, give it away, or lose it? Your actions in the dream can reveal how you feel about the opportunities or changes that the ring symbolizes.
Is there a connection between lucid dreaming and prophetic dreams?
The belief in prophetic dreams is deeply rooted in many cultures. While there is no scientific evidence that dreams can predict the future, some people believe that lucid dreaming may increase the chances of experiencing prophetic visions. The idea is that by having control over one's dreams, one may obtain clearer and more detailed information.
What are the benefits of lucid dreaming?
Great question, Mira. Personal growth. It can help us overcome fears and cope with emotional issues. Creativity. Lucid dreams can stimulate the imagination and help us find new ideas.
What makes you say that?
Self-awareness. By interacting with our dreams, we can learn more about ourselves and our desires.
How can one induce lucid dreaming?
There are numerous techniques, such as keeping a dream journal. This helps to remember dreams and identify recurring elements. Reality checks. Throughout the day, ask yourself, am I dreaming? To develop a habit of checking reality. Wild, wake-induced lucid dream. This technique involves waking up after a short sleep and falling back asleep with the intention of realizing you are dreaming.
That was such insightful advice. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us on the Shared with People podcast today.
Thank you so much, Mira. It's been an absolute pleasure being a part of this fantastic podcast, Shared with People. This has been a dream come true, pun intended. I can't wait to listen to it and see what everyone thinks in the comments below.
And there you have it, a perfect ending. A reminder that within those seemingly random dreams, there might be hidden messages, profound insights, or simply a reflection of our deepest desires. To our listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to Dreamtelling. We truly appreciate you joining us on this journey of exploration. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a dream you'd like us to explore, we'd love to hear from you. Send it our way. You can find the details in our podcast notes. Until next time, keep dreaming big. And remember, every dream, no matter how strange or fleeting, has a story to tell. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends. Let's spread the love of dream interpretation together.